As the UAE embarks on its journey towards country transformation, that transformation will rely heavily on the use of technology. Technology is one of the main ingredients in transforming nations, in developing the economies, and in enabling countries to become more competitive globally. Cisco started in the UAE in 1994, where we first opened our first office with 2 employees. We now have 3 offices across the nation, one in Dubai, one in Abu Dhabi, and one in DIFC. We are very excited about the next phase of growth and opportunity in the UAE. The install base in the UAE from Cisco infrastructure point of view touches almost every element of the life in the UAE. There are multiple terabits of data that is transported across the nation's network every day. When you access the internet, you make a phone call or you receive a message on your telephone, there's an 80% chance that that traffic have actually gone through some form of a Cisco device or a Cisco technology. Many nations, including the UAE, are looking today at how broadband and ICT can be leveraged to enable GDP growth. And that is where we emphasize and focus on in this country. As the leaders of this country aspire to change the citizen services and overhaul the public sector system from a process perspective, technology plays a major role in enabling that. Cisco is aligning with both the government sector as well as the private sector in the UAE. We focus heavily on national safety and security. We focus with the defense industry to enable them with the latest technologies to help us secure this country and keep it safe for its citizens. The value that Cisco brings is to link the technical aspect of what we use from an infrastructure perspective to the business objectives and results. The way we conduct finance in the country, the way we travel, check in, access the services, it is all enabled and facilitated by the use of technology. We have over 500 Cisco certified internetworking experts in the UAE. 70 of those are actually Cisco employees. These experts help us build the most secure, highly available, and reliable network for the UAE. The install base of Cisco infrastructure in the UAE is assumed to be about $2 billion of infrastructure. And that infrastructure is used in many different sectors. We focus heavily on some of the key growth industries in the UAE, the oil sector, the energy sector, the finance and banking sector, and the travel and transportation sector. Cisco focuses as well on the healthcare sector, the education sector, and the e-government activities that are taking place across all the 7 emirates in the UAE. And last but not least is the telecom and service provider area, where we focus very closely with Etisalat and Du and the mobile needs of the UAE.
I think every one of you, our customers and our partners, in every industry that you work in, understand the need for greater innovation and higher levels of productivity. And I believe we as a company and we as an industry with our partners are so relevant to what's happening in the world.
Cisco, Emirates Group working together. How do you see Cisco relevant to your business, and how do you see us working together in the future?
We're all about connecting the world. We're all about expanding the capabilities of what we can do as people. Many are flying, probably half of our staff are flying all over the world, so we want to be able to communicate with them. Cisco is helping us to communicate with our people. We're 2 companies that are very much thinking about the future and what the possibilities are.
Most of the organization choose leaders around the world. And Cisco is one of the leaders when it comes to IT operation and networking. Cisco has been in the market for almost 30 years, and it's pioneer in networking technology and communication. Cisco tools always help us, our IT operations, to run smoothly and effectively.
Cisco's vision in the UAE is to help the nation achieve its economic and social growth, and to help it become a globally competitive nation. Our employees have been engaging in many CSR activities across the nation, helping out in some special needs programs, having a fun day with the orphan centers, spending some time on the weekend cleaning beaches or some desert locations. All of these activities are part of the true Cisco culture and a way of giving back to society. The UAE leaders have always taught us about thinking about the future for our children, the future for our nation. And what we do in technology today really defines the value that we're going to harness out of it in the future. We are very much aligned to meet the objectives and aspirations of the leaders of the UAE to help it become truly a global leader in this world. Tomorrow starts here.